This is Salazzle, and basically, she's very small. Aside from that though, this Pokemon actually has a crazy supportive move pool, and the one we're focusing on today is Dragon Cheer, a move that raises the critical hit rate of your Dragon-type allies by 2. So if you combine this with a Scope Lens Hydreigon, you actually get guaranteed crits on all your moves. It also has Acid Spray, which is a poison-type attack that always lowers the target's special defense by 2 stages. So if we combine this with some strong special attacking Mega Pokemon, you can actually do some huge damage. It also gets Fake Out, so it's pretty good. Game 1, we're up against our Chaladon Sableye Rain, everyone's favorite team. So they lead off with the Basque Sableye, as I lead off with Heliolisk and Salazzle, because Heliolisk looks pretty good into their team. And they think so too, because they switch out of the Basque to avoid the electric type attack, and go into our Chaladon as they just set Light Screen with the Sableye. And this type of passive play is exactly what I wanted, because it allows Heliolisk to go for the Shed Tail, and pass a substitute onto the Hydreigon in the back, so that we can set up the Dragon Cheer with Salazzle and get the guaranteed crits going, which will ignore the Light Screen they just set up. So we switch into Hydreigon here. And we do have the sub now, so we're safe from any like Draco Meteors coming out. And we go for the Dragon Cheer, which is a sound move now, so that means it actually goes through the substitute, which is a cool extra synergy that this team has. As we take the Salazzle out and just bring in the Heliolisk again, because I don't want to get encored into Dragon Cheer or something by the Sableye. The Archaladon goes for Protect predictably, so I just Draco Meteor the Sableye, so it can't be a problem anymore. And with the guaranteed crit, that's going to knock out the Sableye through the Light Screen in 1 hit. So down goes Sableye. Back I go behind the special, the substitute as my special attack drops. But that doesn't matter because critical hits ignore your own stat drops. So Pelipper comes in, it starts to rain, and because I'm Scarf Heliolisk, I go for the Electro Web, and I do huge damage to Pelipper. But I don't knock it out because it's like a bulky build, and they do have Light Screen. So we get a little bit of chip on Arch, which doesn't really matter too much, at least I think. And we proc the Citrus Berry on the Pelipper, we go for the Draco into our Chaladon, and we should be able to knock it out pretty easily, except it lives on 1 HP, and I'm like, wow. As if you live that. As if you live! You have like 10 special defense. So that's like max HP, max special defense our Chaladon, which is crazy. So they're able to go for Flash Cannon and destroy my substitute, which is a little unfortunate, but it should be okay. As the Pelipper sets up Tailwind now, but because they've both been speed dropped, it's not that big a deal. I could just go for Electro Web again and slow them down, so it's basically like that no Tailwind. So I go for the Protect here, just in case an Electro Web misses and I take a Draco Meteor, but they go for Wide Guard to block my Electro Web, which is unfortunate, because now the Pelipper gets to live and keep clicking Wide Guard while they still have speed advantage. So our Chaladon clicks Draco Meteor, but I did Protect in case of something going awry there, so it's a good thing I did that, as the Leftovers is going to start getting quite a bit of recovery back. They go for Protect again this time, expecting me to switch out and not Electro Web again, but because I'm crazy or just bad at the game, I just click it again, because no one ever Wide Guards twice, and we're just able to knock out the Pelipper here. So down goes at Pelipper, as we just go for Dark Pulse with the Hydreigon, because I'm not trying to miss a Draco, as they just protected, so they take no damage. Now the Leftovers is starting to add up, and at this point, the Light Screen does wear off, but also at this point, they've realized that my Heliolisk is not Dry Skin, so they can just go for the Aqua Jet with the Basculegion here, and knock out my Heliolisk risk-free. So down goes Heliolisk, which is fine with me, because I get a free switch into my Salazzle again to use Fake Out. Our Chaladon goes for Draco, I Protect, and they should run out of Tailwind here, as they take a little more Leftovers healing. Their Tailwind runs out, and we bring in Salazzle the Teeny for Fake Out pressure. Our Chaladon Protects to dodge the Fake Out. Fine with me, I just didn't want it to attack my Hydreigon this turn, as they are locked into Aqua Jet because they are Choice Scarf, but we do have Focus Sash, so we're okay. And now Hydreigon's going to be able to go for the big ol' crit Dark Pulse into the Basculegion and easily knock it out in 1 hit. So crit Hydreigon's putting in work. It's a really fun way to use this Pokemon, I think. So down goes Basculegion, as now the rain is going to expire and Salazzle is just going to be able to pick up the knockout with the Overheat in the next turn. So Salazzle goes for Overheat. We don't miss. And our Chowdon's going to go down. So that's the end of game 1. Pretty good first turn there. Set us up to win the entire thing. And GG's to Vinny. Game 2, we're up against a balanced team with a Mega Delphox and a Mega Gengar. All I know is that Hydreigon looks really good into those two, so we do bring it, but not lead with it, as we lead with Blastoise and Salazzle this time. As I don't like this lead matchup here, so I'm just going to bring Blastoise out immediately and go into Hydreigon. Same deal as last game, we want a Dragon Cheer to get our crits online, and I wasn't trying to take a Shadow Ball onto my Blastoise after I like Shell Smash or something, and reduce the damage of my Water Spout. So they Mega Evolve into Mega Gengar, trap me in, as the Aerodactyl goes for Protect, predicting my Fake Out, as strangely Gengar also goes for Protect, which is really weird, because they could not get faked out, and they would have just let me Shell Smash for free, and then just auto-win the game. Don't know what's up with that, but they realize they messed up, and they bring in the Sylveon on the predicted Dark-type attack, which I predict here, and go for the Acid Spray, and do a good chunk, but most importantly, we drop the Special Defense, so that the next one is going to do huge damage, as they go for Tailwind, which I predict, and I go for Tailwind myself with my own Hydreigon. So it's basically like neither of us have Tailwind. So now, we go for the Acid Spray to break the Sash on the Aerodactyl. Not very effective, but that's not the point. As now, we're going to go for the Dark Pulse with our Hydreigon, which is guaranteed to knock it out. As long as we don't flinch here, that would be terrible. Please don't flinch. But you know, it's Pokemon Champions, it's an Aerodactyl, you're going to get flinched. You're not going to be able to move. Nothing ever goes your way. And Sylveon is going to knock out both of my Pokemon. So it's looking pretty dire right now. So down goes Hydreigon, and down goes Salazzle. As now we bring in our Blastoise again, as well as our Aegislash that we had. Aegislash was sleepy. So now we go for Mega because there's no reason not to. We don't have Fake Out on this Blastoise. Most of them do, but we don't. And I'm hoping that I can get a Shell Smash off here and maybe swing the game in my favor, as the Aerodactyl protects, predictably, but also the Sylveon again. So they double protect in front of Blastoise. I don't know what they're so scared of Blastoise for. I go for the Wide Guard to block Hyper Voice or Rock Slide. And this means now we are just going to get a free Shell Smash with Blastoise and completely run away with the game, unless their Aerodactyl has Wide Guard or something. So we boost all of our stats, we're at max HP, and Water Spout is going to absolutely sweep through their whole team. So here I go for Protect instead of Water Spout in case the Aerodactyl has Wide Guard. And I want to eliminate it with my Aegislash and click Iron Head so it can't use that move anymore. They switch into Garchomp. The way they switched makes me think that they definitely don't have Wide Guard. So now, next turn, I'm going to be free to just click Water Spout, completely run away with the game. Our Tailwinds run out, not like it mattered at all. We go for the King's Shield, and we just prepare to sweep the game. So, Sylveon goes for Detect. Interesting. But that kind of made me think they actually might have Wide Guard, and they just decided not to click it. So, Water Spout comes out, easily knocks out the Garchomp from half HP. So, Garchomp's going to go down. Even if it was Scarf, I'm still faster because of Shell Smash. And in comes Aerodactyl again. And now I'm just like, okay, if you click Wide Guard now, GG, you got me. But they do not. We go for the Water Spout. And at -2 on the Sylveon, that kills it like 3 times over, I think. Like, Sylveon is turbo dead there. So both my opponent's Pokemon go down. And they do have Mega Gengar left, so their turn actually isn't over. Aegislash goes Sword Form and tries to click Iron Head, but is going to fail because there's nothing there. And my opponent just surrenders. So yeah, GG's to my opponent. Mega Gengar definitely faints to +2 Water Spout, and even if it didn't, I have Shadow Sneak, so GG. Game 3, we're up against a bulky, balanced-looking team with Fire, Water, Grass, Dragon Core. As they lead off Venusaur, Aerodactyl, as I lead off Charizard, Aegislash. And here, I kind of don't want to Mega Evolve because I'll give the Venusaur Chlorophyll and potentially he can just put me to sleep with Sleep Powder, and I don't really want that. So the Aerodactyl Mega Evolves. I should have seen that coming, but I didn't at the moment. but it doesn't really make a difference because I'm just clicking wide guard to block Rock Slide either way, as Venusaur protects, anticipating my Heat Wave here, which is unfortunate because I don't get to do damage on the thing I wanted to knock out here. As they go for Rock Slide, as we block that with the wide guard. It's the best move in the game. Always bring wide guard. Your team needs wide guard. As we go for Heat Wave to do 0 damage to the Venu, but do a nice little 20% to the Aerodactyl here. We don't get the burn because we're not that lucky, but that chip is pretty important because Mega Aerodactyl is surprisingly bulky. They bring an Incineroar to lower my attack on Aegislash here, as I just go for Protect with Aerodactyl to scout out what I'm going to do. As I go for Protect, expecting Rock Slide, and I go for Iron Head with Aegislash, trying to knock out the Aerodactyl. So they do get this call correctly here too. Unfortunate. So here we switch out Charizard, because I'm not trying to take unnecessary damage, as we bring in Hydreigon here. We go back into Shield form, and go for King Shield on the potential Flare Blitz to punish my my Sword form. As the Aerodactyl just goes for Tailwind. Good play. And now the Incineroar is going to go for Flare Blitz, and they are going to do no damage and take -1. So that's nice, but still I'm at a disadvantage here. My opponent is playing really well. I bring in Salazzle here, as the Aerodactyl just goes for the dual Wing Beat, predicting Wide Guard. So we take a lot of damage from that, because it is Tough Claws boosted. And Hydreigon goes for Draco Meteor into the Aerodactyl to hopefully knock it out here, because it is chipped, as it lives on 2%. Which is horrible for me, because I really needed that to die there. As Incineroar goes for Roar into Salazzle that I just switched in, so I can't even fake out. So my opponent's like a insano gamer. They actually have Roar Incineroar, which I think is really good, but no one uses. So it's like, jeez man, I need something to go my way. Go for Wide Guard here, just in case they feel like mixing it up and clicking Rock Slide, but they don't. They go for a dual Wing Beat. I take a lot of damage on Charizard. And at this point, I'm like, I need to lock in here. I need something to go my way. Incineroar goes for Flare Blitz. If I went for Shadow Sneak there, I would have fainted easily to that, and I didn't want to yet. We get some recoil chip damage onto the Incineroar, and we finally Mega Evolve the Charizard into Charizard Y. So we're going to set up the Sun here, and just go for Weather Ball into the Incin to maximize damage and not chance a miss, as we do go for the Shadow Sneak with Aegislash. They probably didn't think I had this because I didn't click it last turn, but we do. We pick it off, and Aerodactyl goes down, so that huge threat is out of the way. Incineroar goes for Flare Blitz, so we're going to trade, and my Aegislash is going to go down, which is unfortunate, because now if they brought Sylveon, I kind of might have a little trouble with it, maybe. Incineroar takes more recoil, and Charizard's just going to go for the Weather Ball and do pretty laughable damage here. That did what, like 30%? Jeez. The most important thing here, though, is that he doesn't have a Citrus Berry, so he's probably Popple. We bring in Salazzle again, and now we have Fake Out Pressure as the Venusaur comes in, and because it has Chlorophyll, I want to fake it out and keep it from moving, so we go for the Fake Out there. We break the Focus Sash, and we were able to go for the Heat Wave and knock out the Venusaur before it can do anything. And do some more chip to the Incineroar, which is still living pretty comfortably. As now the Incineroar is actually going to go for the Parting Shot into Salazzle, and I'm like, oh, that's not the right move. You shouldn't have done that. He doesn't break my Sash there, as in comes the Sylveon, and in comes the Incineroar again with another Intimidate, but we're actually able to block it with Oblivious. It's not like it matters, but it's just kind of funny. So he has Fake Out Pressure, so I switch into Hydreigon here just to sacrifice it and get my Fake Out back, as I just protect with the Charizard to not die to a Hyper Voice or something, as the Incineroar does go for Fake Out, and the Sylveon is going to go for the Hyper Voice as I expected, so we sacrifice Hydreigon here, and now we're going to be able to go back into Salazzle and have Fake Out Pressure. So down goes Hydreigon. It's tragic, I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you're the featured Mon. I had to sack you. And they go for Protect on Sylveon, predicting either a Poison Attack or Fake Out, and I did go for a Poison Attack so that I could go for a double damage Heat Wave on it. But they do Protect, so... actually, you shouldn't run Protect Sylveon, it has a Detect. I'm just kidding, nobody runs Imprison plus Protect, it's okay. So Incineroar goes down, and my opponent is going to forfeit here because Acid Spray plus Weather Ball is a guaranteed knockout. So they just accept defeat. So GG's to Maurice. Let's go on to the final game of the video. Alright, for our final game today, we're up against Charizard Y Balance. And this section is going to be our last game on this regulation. And I don't think there's any better way to send it off than a Charizard Y Ditto, because this Pokemon has been on like every team and has won every tournament for the last couple months now, so I think everyone's a little bit sick of it. We are all sick of Charizard Y. So we're going to Mega Evolve. We're going to set up the Sun. Is they're also going to Mega Evolve? Because of course they would. Why would you not Mega Evolve a Charizard? That'd be crazy. So here I'm expecting the Venusaur to protect on the Fake Out, so I actually go for the Acid Spray into the Charizard, as the Venusaur actually goes for Sludge into my Charizard. So we both use poison moves on each other's Charizards, which is kind of funny. We had the same idea there. We're going to drop the Special Defense, and this Heat Wave's going to do huge damage, which is what I would have said if I didn't miss both of them with Heat Wave. I missed both. That's like a 1 in 100 chance, and this is why you don't run Mega Charizard. You're just asking to miss. I deserve it for running this Pokemon, let's be real. So Charizard goes for Protect, and Venusaur just goes for Sludge Bomb. Again, I should have protected there, but that is my fault entirely. As now we just go for the Overheat into the Venusaur to either kill it or bring it down to its Sash, as we do see that it has a Sash. So that is 1 HP now, so it should be 1 tap to pretty much anything. We drop our Special Attack, but that's okay. We're not trying to do huge damage with Salazzle specifically. We bring in Heliolisk with the Solar Power active, and the Choice Scarf up, so we have +1 Special Attack and Speed right now, basically. As the Venusaur is going to go for Energy Ball, but Heliolisk has really high Special Defense, so even with the crit, that's not going to be enough to knock me out. So go for the Electro Web. We're faster than the Charizard, and we do so much damage to it. We actually knock it out in 1 hit with a spread Electro Web. We didn't even crit it. That was on the 1 HP Venusaur, so that's pretty great there. So we're going to take some Solar Power Chip. We barely managed to live on 4 HP. So now in comes Sneasler. I'm thinking, okay, that thing's going to fake out my Heliolisk. So I'm going to actually preserve my Heliolisk and bring in my Salazzle here, because I should live the Fake Out, as the Garchomp goes for Protect, which is good. And the Sneasler does go for Fake Out. And we are able to live, so we do have Fake Out pressure, and we get the Tailwind off on the Garchomp Protect. So now I just have to hit my moves so I can win the game. So we do hit the Overheat, and now I'm hoping, because of the Sun, that does knock out Sneasler, and I'm hoping Hydreigon hits the Draco Meteor. Please, I need to hit this shot or I'll be declared guilty of being a total slow-mo, as Hydreigon does land the Draco Meteor, and we do knock it out in 1 hit, thankfully. So after really bad luck on turn 1, we actually get lucky and are able to win the game with inaccurate moves anyway. We actually didn't click a single 100% accurate move that entire match, and we still won because we are more skilled than our opponent here. Obviously not. GG's though. That's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the games. The spreads and moves are on screen right now. If you want to try this team out, I couldn't recommend it because the regulation's about to change and the whole meta is about to shift. So anyways, I will see you in the next format.